The story begins with the lunar Voyager spacecraft descending toward Shackleton crater, located at the Moon's south pole. This is one of the harshest, most dangerous places on the Moon due to its permanent shadows, steep cliffs, and freezing temperatures. The crater's interior has been uncharted for centuries, hiding secrets in its eternal darkness. Inside the spacecraft, the crew prepares for the mission of a lifetime. The team consists of 4 experts: Dr. Lena Harrow, an astrobiologist with a haunted past and a mission to find traces of extraterrestrial life; Captain Elias Ward, the seasoned commander of the expedition, known for his calculated decisions; Kai Rivera, the tech genius and engineer, equipped with an insatiable curiosity; and Sui Chen, the AI specialist, who maintains the state-of-the-art robot Astra, built for extreme exploration. The team's goal is to investigate reports from an unmanned probe that detected unusual magnetic anomalies and the presence of a mysterious crystalline substance deep inside the crater. Upon landing at the crater's rim, the crew encounters immediate challenges. A solar storm warning threatens their communication with Lunar Command, and malfunctioning navigation equipment due to the region's strong magnetic interference adds to their difficulties. Despite these setbacks, the team deploys Astra, the autonomous exploration robot, to scout ahead. Astra sends back chilling footage of jagged crystalline structures emitting faint, eerie light. The structures appear to pulse with an organic rhythm. Kai, working with Sui, identifies that the crystals are emitting an electromagnetic signal, almost like a message. Dr. Harrow speculates the crystals could be evidence of a previously unknown form of microbial life. Captain Ward insists on caution, reminding them of the hostile environment and limited resources. The team sets up a tethered exploration system to rappel into the crater. As they descend, the temperature drops sharply, and the sunlight vanishes. In the darkness, they rely on infrared and Astra's advanced sensors. They notice an unearthly glow emanating from the crystalline formations, lighting the way like ghostly beacons. Halfway down, Astra detects a cave system branching off from the crater wall. Against Captain Ward's better judgment, the team decides to investigate. Inside, they find carvings on the cave walls, geometric patterns that appear deliberate. Dr. Harrow theorizes they could be remnants of an ancient civilization. While examining the carvings, a sudden tremor shakes the cave. A chunk of the wall collapses, nearly trapping Kai. The team narrowly escapes, but the incident damages their equipment, including Astra's long-range communication module. Driven by curiosity and desperation, the team presses on and discovers a massive chamber filled with the glowing crystals. At the chamber's center is an enormous, pulsating crystal structure that seems almost alive. The magnetic interference is strongest here, disrupting their suits and sensors. Dr. Harrow identifies microbial fossils embedded in the crystals, confirming the existence of alien life. However, the microbes appear dormant. Sui theorizes that the electromagnetic pulses are a signal, a call to awaken the life forms. As they collect samples, Astra detects movement within the crystals. The microbes begin to react, glowing brighter and spreading across the chamber. The team realizes the crystals are more than fossils, they are a dormant life form reawakening. The microbes emit a substance that corrodes their suits and equipment, forcing the team to retreat. Back at the surface, the team debates their next steps. Dr. Harrow insists on staying to study the life forms, believing this discovery could change humanity's understanding of the universe. Captain Ward prioritizes the crew's safety and demands an immediate evacuation. Tensions peak when it's revealed that Kai secretly transmitted data about the discovery to a private corporation funding the mission. The company's interests lie in exploiting the crystals for profit. Unbeknownst to the team, the microbes have followed them to the surface, drawn by the electromagnetic signals from their equipment. The camp is soon under attack by a wave of rapidly growing crystals, which trap their lander. Desperate to salvage the mission, Kai tries to extract a sample from the advancing crystals. The attempt triggers a violent reaction, injuring Kai and causing further damage to the lander. Captain Ward confines Kai to the medical bay, but the damage is done. The microbes are spreading faster than anticipated. With the lander compromised, the team must act quickly. Sui devises a plan to use Astra as a decoy, luring the microbes away from the ship by amplifying their electromagnetic signal. This gives the crew a narrow window to repair the lander. As the microbes close in, Astra malfunctions, and someone must stay behind to manually control the decoy. Captain Ward volunteers, knowing his experience is essential for ensuring the plan succeeds. Dr. Harrow protests, but Ward insists, it's the only way to save the others. Ward leads the microbes deeper into the crater, giving the rest of the team enough time to repair the lander. From the lander's viewport, the crew watches as the crystalline wave engulfs Ward's position, his final transmission cut off. The surviving crew narrowly escapes the moon, carrying with them the samples and data needed to prove the existence of alien life. However, the cost of the mission weighs heavily on them. Dr. Harrow, in particular, is haunted by the loss of Captain Ward and the ethical implications of their discovery. Back on Earth, the team faces a media frenzy and scrutiny from scientific and political communities. Dr. Harrow publishes her findings, sparking debates about humanity's role in the universe and the ethics of exploring, and potentially exploiting, alien life. In a classified lab, a scientist examines the crystal samples. As the camera zooms in, faint pulses of light emanate from the crystals, hinting that the alien life forms are far from dormant. The black void of space seemed to stretch infinitely, but as the lunar Voyager descended, the vast, jagged edge of Shackleton crater came into view. Unlike most lunar landscapes, Shackleton was shrouded in eternal shadow. The sunlight barely reached its depths, making it a region of unexplored mystery and danger. Inside the ship, Dr. Lena Harrow glanced at her wrist monitor, her heart racing despite the rhythmic beeps of her oxygen regulator. It was colder than she expected, she murmured to herself, staring at the readout. Even through her suit, she could feel the unnatural chill. Colder than the moon, Kai Rivera, the ship's young engineer, quipped. He leaned back in his chair, his dark eyes glinting with amusement. You know, it's not exactly Cancun out there. Captain Elias Ward, standing by the control console, ignored the banter and called for focus. The team was about to land. The magnetic interference was already messing with navigation systems, and Ward didn't want any surprises. As the landing struts touched the powdery surface, the ship shuddered, and a low hum of static filled the cabin. Lena flinched. She hated that sound. Static was a reminder that they were cut off from the safety of Earth, left to fend for themselves in a place humanity barely understood. Outside, the landscape was like something out of a dream, or a nightmare. Towering cliffs cast jagged shadows over the frozen ground. Patches of regolith sparkled faintly under the weak glow of Earthlight, but the most striking feature was the faint, bluish glow emanating from deep within the crater. Lena asked her team what they thought it could be. Sui Chen, the team's AI specialist, was already activating Astra, the exploration robot. Its spindly legs unfolded, and its sensors lit up like a mechanical firefly. Whatever it was, Sui assured her they would find out soon enough. Astra moved ahead, its scanners picking up faint traces of magnetic fields. Sui announced she was getting readings and noted something was emitting electromagnetic pulses from deeper inside the crater. Hours later, the team was rappelling into the crater, their light slicing through the oppressive darkness. Lena felt the weight of the void pressing on her, a silence so complete it seemed alive. She focused on her descent, her boots finding purchase on the jagged rock. Below, Astra illuminated the source of the strange glow. It was like nothing they had ever seen. Spires of crystalline formations jutted from the ground, their surfaces smooth and reflective. They pulsed faintly, as though alive. Lena crouched beside one, her gloved hand hovering over it, noting it felt warm. Kai knelt beside her, running a portable scanner. This is insane, he muttered. The crystal structure's emitting a signal. It's like it's communicating. Captain Ward's voice cut through the comms, warning the team to stay alert. They didn't know what they were dealing with. As Astra ventured further, it paused, its sensors picking up a void beneath the crystalline field. Sui announced there was a cave system, with the crystals having grown around an opening. Lena's heart raced. If the crystals were alive, or connected to something alive, then the caves might hold the answers they sought. She proposed they go in. Ward hesitated but emphasized sticking to protocol with no unnecessary risks. Lena's curiosity, however, burned too brightly. She reminded herself that this was why they were here, to answer questions no one else dared to ask. Reluctantly, Ward agreed. Inside the cave, the air felt heavier, even though there was none. The walls were lined with strange, geometric carvings, patterns that seemed deliberate. Lena ran her gloved fingers over them and suggested it wasn't natural. Kai crouched beside her, asking what she was implying. She responded that it was possible someone, or something, made this. Deeper into the cave, they found what could only be described as a chamber, a vast, cathedral-like space filled with the same glowing crystals. At the center was a massive crystalline formation, its surface rippling like liquid glass. Lena approached cautiously, her scanner buzzing erratically. Sui observed that the electromagnetic readings were off the charts, noting it was as if it were alive. Suddenly, Astra emitted a high-pitched whine. Its sensors flickered, and it jerked backward. The crystals pulsed violently, their glow intensifying. Then, as though in response to an unseen signal, they began to grow. Ward barked a command to move, his voice cutting through the comms. The team scrambled as the crystals surged toward them, sprouting like living vines. Lena stumbled, her foot caught in a tangle of crystalline growths. Kai yanked her free, but not before the growths tore a small tear in her suit. They barely made it out of the cave. Back at their lander, Lena examined the tear in her suit. The edges were corroded, as though the crystals had emitted some kind of acidic substance. They weren't just growing, they were consuming. The team argued late into the lunar night. Lena wanted to stay, to understand the life forms they'd discovered, believing it could redefine everything they knew about life. Ward, however, was adamant that they had already lost too much. The crystals were hostile, and they needed to leave. The debate took a darker turn when they discovered that Kai had been secretly transmitting data to their corporate sponsors. Kai defended himself, arguing that they were funding the mission and deserved to know what was found. Ward was furious, accusing Kai of putting them all at risk. He warned what might happen if the sponsors decided the discovery was more valuable than their lives. Before they could resolve their differences, the crystals found them. Drawn by their equipment's electromagnetic signals, the crystalline growths began spreading across the lunar surface, encroaching on their camp. Astra, now partially functional, tried to act as a barrier, but the growths overwhelmed it. Sui devised a desperate plan: amplify Astra's signal to draw the crystals away, buying enough time to repair the lander. However, Astra's systems were too damaged, it would need to be manually controlled. Ward volunteered, declaring it was his responsibility. Lena protested, but he insisted. As Ward took Astra into the advancing crystals, Lena felt a deep ache in her chest. From the viewport of the lander, she watched as the crystals surged toward him, engulfing both him and Astra in a wave of glowing, pulsing light. His last words echoed in her ears, urging her to get them home. Back on Earth, Lena struggled to come to terms with what they'd found, and what they'd lost. The samples they'd brought back proved the existence of alien life, but it came at a cost too great to ignore. In a sterile laboratory, she watched as a scientist examined the crystals under a microscope. Suddenly, the sample pulsed faintly, its glow eerily familiar. Lena turned away, a chill running down her spine. She couldn't shake the feeling that their discovery wasn't over. Somewhere, in the endless void of space, the crystals were still growing, and waiting. Thanks for exploring the cosmos with Space Universe 016. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all our interstellar adventures. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below, and let's continue unraveling the mysteries of the universe together. Until next time, stay curious and keep reaching for the stars with Space Universe 016.